I need to even introduce who they are. It's always interesting to see a game that nobody knows about have a successor so high that everyone knows about it. A game that was a hidden gem that surprised the world to a game that broke the internet again and again and again. But are the games worth it? Or are we just blinded with nostalgia and shuffling all the red flags away? Well, sharpen your blades, get your charms ready, and explore some ruined kingdoms. Cause today, we're talking about the two embers, Hollow Knight and Silksong. Let's start from the very beginning. Hollow Knight is a metroidvania, essentially games that has gameplay and exploration system like Castlevania and Metroid, hence the game genre metroidvania. You play as Hollow Knight and... Actually, I'm going to stop here. I know this is a 9-year-old game. God, I feel old. But I'm going to keep the story a secret because that's the whole point of said game. Exploring and figuring out slowly but surely what the story is. Why this happened, why that entailed, why is everything like this? Everything has an answer, from environment to the NPCs to your very existence. I will say you might not understand the whole story in your first one. I definitely didn't. It actually took me some YouTube videos explaining the lore and playing it for the second time to realize, holy moly, does the lore go way deep. It also has show not tell idea behind storytelling. Not always, of course. Sometimes the NPCs does tell what is happening. But the balance of telling and showing is amazingly done. Maybe too well. Like I said, I had to play the game again just to understand what was going on. But honestly, that's more of a nitpicking than a critic per se. But I digress. But yeah, the story has a lot of visual implementation in it. So presentation needs to be amazing as well, right? Well, I'm happy to report, yeah, it is. Before I continue, I should state that I installed 2 mods when playing Hollow Knight for the second time because, well, this is the second time I'm playing the game. Benchwarp will get back to it as to why I downloaded it, and Hollowness Vocalize, basically a fan community mod where it gives every single NPC's, yes, every single NPC's voice lines. And can I just say, what a fantastic job. Let's get the mod out of the way before talking about the official stuff. The voice acting is really solid. I really like how each character sounds perfectly for what they look like. I genuinely had fun just listening to them and honestly enhanced playing the game for the second time. Big thumbs up to the team doing this and making the mod completely free. Highly recommended to people playing it for the second or third or even a lot of times. I also do like how each character's tonality is pretty spot on where the situation is. Tired, happy, worried, etc, etc. I wish I could speak more about this. But honestly, I have not much else to say other than, again, fantastic job. Alright, let's go with the official stuff. Starting with the levels themselves, and my god is it amazing. Every place is connected in a giant map. So finding the secret route to make your travels faster, or just for completion's sake, or for rewarding just to see the map is all so cool. I really like the city where you can just see the infrastructures, and some of which you can go inside and see what there is and isn't. Like, my personal favorite is the singing place. It's just beautiful. Each level also has their own ecosystem, and seeing the environment and enemies is interesting and unique, and I really love that. Also, the characters are mwah! The insects and how they are represented has been such an eye candy. From insects going with their own instinct to dignified and cool looking, I honestly like all of them. Not you, Jot! And also you! If you know, you know! And then there's the music, and oh god, is it awesome! I mean, just listen to it. When you hear it, it can be peaceful, ominous, or things about to get down. Christopher Lurkin, thank you for making such amazing music. I really wish I had 1% of your talent. Overall, the presentation is fantastic as well. The music, the level design, and while not official, the voice acting really does spice up the world. But that doesn't mean much if the gameplay sucks, so does it? No. No, it absolutely does not. Let's get one thing out of the way. The game is hard. You will be dying a lot, and you will have to get used to it. Basically, think Dark Souls, but Metroidvania, and you have a good idea what I'm talking about. But I really like how the control is snappy and fast to your inputs, making sure that each death is your error. Well, most of the time. Sometimes unfairness does happen, but that's an argument for any game. I digress. As the game continues, you start unlocking new abilities, from able to use souls aka mana for your powerful damages to double jumps and so on. I will say it is annoying that the progress to said abilities takes time, especially if you're going for a second run, but it's nothing that makes or breaks the game. So I am fine with what we got. But the more you explore, the more you find things, from secret locations to NPCs to unlockables to memories, and list goes on and on. There's a lot to find. And if you feel like something might be off, there's a good chance you will find something there. I will say stuff will be annoying to get, especially the map for the first time. You need to buy it from this bug to even track where you are, or buy it later in the beginning shop. I never really liked that system because it's a pain to deal with. The bosses in this game is really fun and cool too. Each have their distinct feeling, and learning their patterns and understanding how to beat them feels so satisfying. I will say the walk of shame is annoying, especially when avoiding monsters. Hence why I had bench warp mod installed, because I didn't want to deal with going all the way back to the boss just for the next attempt to die and go back and walk all the way again to the boss fight to die, rinse and repeat and repeat. So thank God for bench warp for saving me so much time. Even with that, I remember dying over and over and over, and when I finally beat said bosses, I was out of my chair and was like, let's freaking go! It's oh so awesome. And having it in, while not all, but many of them, it feels wonderful. There's also some really challenging part of the game too. Colosseum of Fool and Grimoire DLC is something to be noted. But it never felt unfair. Just really difficult that I know I can win. But my favorite parts about this game are the charms. Charms are basically abilities your characters can have when equipped, from longer range with your Neo Sword, to costing less when using your souls, to healing faster in the middle of combat, which is my favorite because, well, if you try heal and get hit in the middle of it, you lose said soul and fail to hit, plus extra hit because you just got hurt. So, yeah, this charm is very vital. But there's a catch. Each charm takes certain number of space, aka tokens, to be equipped. Some 1 to usually 2 to massive 4. And as you can guess, you can't fit all your charms doing so. Which is so annoying because I have 1 empty token left and you said I can't fit them? Why can't I just equip this? I did that out of pure frustration and anger. And when I realized what I just did, I knew there was more than I knew before. When you do this, you can have 1 extra charm equipped, but at the penalty that you will take double damage every hit. It's a high risk, high reward situation, but the fact that the game is willing to let you do that is so cool. And that's the best part of this game. It gives you freedom to try things that wasn't technically meant to. For example, to get the grub out of the grass jar, the game wanted me to have double jump first. But instead, I could just bogo jump off a flying mob and boom, I saved a little fellow. And that's just one of many cheats you could do. I remember in my first run that I had to face a boss that is mandatory to progress to the story. But in order to reach that boss, I needed a certain swimming ability so that I could swim against those hazardous places and face the boss. But the thing is, instead of doing that, I did a super jump and I jumped in a certain angle that I wouldn't get hit with those hazardous areas and face the boss. It made the boss fight way harder, but the fact that I did it, with skipping an ability, that is cool. Hollow Knight has so much. It's not an exaggeration to say it's a masterpiece. It is very difficult, but the reward of beating said challenges, trying new things, breaking the game, and experiencing the world and lore behind it. It's no wonder why people love this game. So, do I recommend Hollow Knight? Absolutely. It is a masterpiece, and I really like the struggle and the challenge behind it, despite the whole walk of shame. It's gonna be difficult, but if you can handle the challenge, my God, is it worth it. So, Hollow Knight is amazing and it's so good. It makes sense why people were really anticipating the successor. In fact, it was the most wishlisted game on Steam. But just because it is, was it really worth the hype? Or was it just a boring flop? Well then, shall we talk about the next game? Silksong. Silksong is a sequel to Hollow Knight, also a metroidvania, and my God, is it harder! You see this meme? Yeah, this meme is 100% accurate! We'll get back to this, but know this. Silksong is hard, and that has divided people a lot more than one would expect. But Again, I want to leave that at the end. For now, let's start with the story. You play as Hornet. There's a very good reason as to why. Play Hollow Knight first. Anyway, you get caged by these folks you don't even know as to why. But when something disrupts the barrier of said cage, all hell breaks loose. You fell down, somehow survived, and now it's up to you to figure out why you were brought in this strange new kingdom. Good luck finding out the rest, and oh boy, you're in for a treat. I am very happy to report the story is still, if not better, than Hollow Knight was. Everything connected from the lore to NPCs to visual indication, everything connects one way or another. One of my favorite things is Hornet speaks while interacting with NPCs in this game, which I am so happy she does and isn't a mute character like Hollow Knight was. I mean, lore-wise it makes sense why Hollow Knight cannot speak, but again, lore-wise, Hornet does. And I am happy they kept it like that. But the interactions feel so much genuine, and seeing sides of Hornet you didn't in the first game, it genuinely feels so refreshing and wonderful to experience. Also, this character must protect no matter what. If you hurt that little guy, I will find you and I will share your location to all Hollow Knight community, and we will send you a message. Oh, you know, I will go into the corner and cry because you hurt my Fifi. Most likely that. There is a caveat though. This will be a recurring thing with this game, but I think the story, heck, the game itself is a bit too long. It's definitely longer than Hollow Knight, and it can exhaust you if you're constantly playing it. When Silksong came out, I had planned to only play that game until I beat it. So I was expecting to beat Silksong in 2, maybe 2.5 weeks, because it is longer than Hollow Knight. That was confirmed beforehand. So Hollow Knight I beat it in around 1.5 weeks. So 2.5 makes sense, right? It took me 4 weeks! 4 weeks to beat the game! Now, I did do other things rather than rush to story, like for example finding new place and location, and I did have to take a break from the game for a day or so because I was exhausted playing only Silksong. But I only took 4 days out of 28 just to beat Silksong. And the only reason why I non-stop played this game was because I needed to make this video. Side note, this video was supposed to come out 2-3 weeks ago. Originally, I was going to have the cozy video be last month, September. And for Halloween, I was going to talk about another game, Slay the Princess. But the thing is, Silksong took so much time that I had to push my schedule for all my projects a few weeks ahead, at least until Halloween. And that also means I had to skip Slay the Princess. If you still want me to talk about it, please let me know in the comments below and subscribe and like and yada yada yada. But besides that, yeah, Silksong took way longer than I anticipated. This isn't actually a bad thing per se, but please, please, please do take your time playing this game. It took me 47 hours. 47 hours! Just to finish the game, and I was exhausted to not only from this game but playing games in general. Again, the only reason why I powerhouse was to finish this video, otherwise I would have taken my sweet time. Keep in mind I still had fun, and this hasn't depleted what my thoughts for this game will be, but if I didn't had this project, I would have wanted 2 more weeks, maybe 4, just so that I wouldn't be burnt out. But going back to the story, it is amazing and I am so glad to see things unfold right before my eyes. I just wish I had more time to do so. So the story is amazing. But what about the presentation? Is it as good as Hollow Knight? Well, I'm here to report, no, it's not. Somehow, it's better. Words cannot describe how fun it was to explore places, to connect dots and see why certain place is like that. But to see the beauty of it, to see the ahs and oohs and the ecosystem, wow, it's big. Definitely bigger than Hollow Knight. And all the locations are pretty cool. Not you, Bywater. I hate you! We'll get back to that. Also, Hornet is so versatile. Seeing how she moves and attacks is really fun, especially since she has different attacking stance she could use. Again, we'll also get back to that later. Also, the animation. God, the animation is so good! There are so many, and seeing them for the first time feels so exhilarating. The intro, the in-betweens, the calm before the storm, everything is just right. If there's anything to critic, it would probably be music. But even then, I'm not 100% sure about that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, Silksong music is better. But then I'm like, oh, wait, no, Hollow Knight's music is better. And I am pretty confused because both music is amazing. I don't know which one is better. But I think I can state this safely. When it comes to immersion, aka hearing music while playing the game, I think Horror Knight did it better. Silksong is still good, amazing even. I just like Hollow Knight a bit better, again when it comes to immersion. With that said, Silksong does have one music that is my favorite amongst the two. Can't really, play it for you guys because it's spoilers, but let's just say, oh Lord, she can sing! But with everything said and done, Silksong has an amazing story that made me hook and made me dive deeper and deeper into the game. The world exploring, not you, is so fast and awesome and cool to see. And with everything said and done, it's no wonder the gameplay is great too. The gameplay is good, right? Yeah. This is where things get a bit complicated. Let's start with the positive. Silksong controls is as well polished as Hollow Knight, maybe even better. You do need to get better with her attacking patterns, especially her down attacks. That red ball still gives me nightmares. But there are some changes in the game nonetheless. For example, Hornet needs to have full meter to heal, but instead of healing 1 health at a time, she now heals 3 per use. However, if you do get hit in the middle of healing, you will not only lose all the meter against Silk of that heal, but also your backup you didn't use. Okay, weird mechanic, but hey, it just means you have to be more careful with healing, right? Then comes the charms in this game. Well, actually there's 3 of them now. Yellow, blue, and red. The charms are unlocked by their archetype from what we gathered, but based by their colors. For example, the compass is a yellow charm. In other words, you cannot use it in blue or red slots. Only yellow. Same goes for blue and red. Well, red is more tools than charms here. Basically, Hornet can have tools to help her fight stuff, like throwing spears or spiking traps or even... Oh no. Don't worry about it. With that said, this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I like Hollow Knight's charm system better. Yes, technically you can have more versatility as Hornet because you can have, on average, 6 charms equipped. But the color systems rubs me the wrong way. I cannot go into details because spoilers, but let's just think of it this way. A lot of charms I want to use are yellow charms, but a lot of charms I okay or maybe not want to use at times are blue charms. Now the thing is, I want to do some combos and experiment with it. But I can't because I only have 2 yellow charms equipped, and I can't equip one more because I don't have space for it. But I can't replace blue for yellow because that's not how the system works. This has been a recurring thing until the very end, until I beat the final boss. And it just sucks, at least for me. Yes, objectively speaking, Silksong's charm system is a lot better than Hollow Knight's. But at the same time, my heart really likes Hollow Knight more. What I love this game implemented is the crest system. You will be able to get multiple crests as you are exploring. The default is what you chart with, the Architect, in which you have a drill attack and you have 3 tools, and my favorite, the Reaper. Basically, healing gives you condition where every hit, some silk leaks out of their body that you can harvest if you do not get hit in between. Also, because down attack is simpler. Blame that thing! Jokes aside, Reaper Crest is also the most natural feeling on how I play games, so with charm system in which, while I'm not 100% on board, still amazing, different attacking styles while keeping solid foundation intact, and same as healing system, the game is pretty solid. Right, we should probably talk about that. Double damages are now more frequent in some mobs. This is perfectly fine. Better to get some attacks that feels like it should do more damage than the others, right? And learning the patterns just makes you better at this game. So this isn't a bad thing. I mean, sure, the healing does 3 instead of 1 each, meaning you only heal extra 1 per cycle, but hey, at least it's a positive thing, right? Right? Every single boss, every single attacks are either double damage or do 2 damages in a row. This has been a controversial in the community that there has been a mod that makes all the attacks single damages. And then there's another mod that does triple instead because spite and masochism. Don't boo me, I'm right! But the problem, at least for me, isn't the double damage, it's only double damage. Why does every attack has to be double damage? I understand if some are, but not every attack. Slamming your body, double damage? Okay, sure, I get it. Randomly moving to where I dodge. Why double? You didn't even do anything. And then there's the walk of shame. It is really bad in this game. Some takes me a minute or 2 to reach. Some could even take me more if there's enemies in the way. And then there's Biowater. It takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go from your resting spot to reach the boss fight, and another 3 to 5 minutes to fight all the mobs just so that you can finally fight the boss that does double damage everything. And guess what? It is mandatory if you want to get true ending. This is where everything just felt bad. From triple healing shenanigans to walk of shame being too long to double damage only. And the thing is, the boss fights are already difficult without these burdens. I was actually thinking and moving, making sure I don't get hit, and I can see the game being hard, and I was enjoying when I locked in their patterns. But to be honest, the boss fight went from Horror Night with "Yes, I did it, let's go!" to Silksong with "Okay, good, I did it, finally!" Sure, I was still having fun, and there were hype moments for sure. And heck, even I will admit, I actually like the bosses more in Silksong than Hollow Knight. But most of the time, I was just exhausted to continue playing after each fight. So I just save and quit after beating each bosses to take a break. For the life of me, I could not figure out why I liked and I hated these fights. And I talked with a lot of people, I talked with the communities, and then it dawned on me. This game is not only difficult, it is artificially difficult. Not always, but more frequent in boss fights. And that got really exhausting. It was still fun, but it was so much as well. Honestly, it generally felt it was too hyped and a bit disappointing. Until I start exploring more. When exploring, there were a lot of things I unlocked. From NPCs to quests to new items and upgrades to literal amazing places. I love seeing where I can go, what I can do, can I use this to fight better? I genuinely love finding new places and seeing where it would lead me. It's no wonder it took me 4 weeks to beat the game. Just doing the quest lines, finding and tracking and protecting and just having the time of my life. And even when talking negative about the bosses, seeing the patterns, understanding their weakness, knowing how they are and what they meant to be, despite my annoyance, I still loved the fights I had. The enemies unlocking more potential for me, from averaging of 6 charms to 8, the freedom of moving around in ways I want to, finding controls I didn't even know I had. Like, did you know archery is taunting? And if you have this charm or tool, makes Hornet do this? Or the fact you can dash and jump further, and the characters singing when you play the tune, and these fluffy beings, and so much more. I love exploring and see places and experimenting, and I love everything I went and saw. Not you! This game is so amazing, and exploring the game, the lore, and the world, I can see why everyone loves this. So, do I recommend this game? My heart says yes, but my brain says it's complicated. Silksong is an amazing game with so many charms, fighting styles, and exploration. The story is amazing, the presentation is awe-dropping. But then there's things that I can't. Game is harder, but I feel like it is artificially harder than it should be sometimes. Game is so expanded, but that exhausted me when playing for 4 weeks. And the walk of shame didn't help it. If you are a Hollow Knight fan, you will most likely like this game. I know I did. But for the rest, this game is a commitment. And sometimes it's not pretty. But if you can powerhouse that, you're in for a treat. It sucks that I have to give a mixed opinion at the end, but trust me when I say this, I love this game and I do not regret playing it. It's that sometimes things we like aren't perfect. With that said, Team Cherry made amazing games, 2 amazing games, and I cannot wait to see what they're cooking in the future. I mean, we're still waiting for Silksong DLC, so I'm very excited and I'm gonna play that for sure. But for now, I must rest because this took a lot out of me and I deserve a break, man. I hope you enjoyed this video and yeah, I'll see you next time. Subscribe if you like this guy as well. They are amazing.
Pina sans mi, mani, 7. Dana fond sur le